Thank you for joining us as we assemble our brand new Coleman GK200 Go-Kart. We begin by removing the Go-Kart from the shipping crate. Once the crate is removed, discard all plastics and set aside the parts and hardware included. Locate the assembly manual included with your cart. We will be following along with that during today's assembly. Before we begin, let's go over some of the equipment included with your go-kart purchase. We provide the tools needed for assembly, but you can use your own tools if preferred. Here is the hardware used to install the steering wheel along with the steering wheel cap. There are 4 rubber hubcaps for your tires. Zip ties are provided for cable management, and we also include a spark plug tool that will be useful in completing routine maintenance. You'll receive a physical copy of your owner's and assembly manual, and keep those as long as you have the go-kart. If you misplace either, we have electronic versions as well available at www.champmoto.com. During today's assembly, we will use Coleman Off-Road Performance 10W30 motor oil along with Coleman's off-road chain lube. We'll start with putting our go-kart on a stable, elevated level surface. You will need someone to assist in lifting the go-kart. The hardware needed to install the tires is located on each axle. Be sure when you install the tire that the tread arrow is facing forward and that the air valve is on the outside. Place the tire on the axle and install the hardware with the large washer and then the small washer, followed by the castle nut. Once the castle nut is properly tightened, the wheel should still spin freely and the tire should not be loose. Install the cotter pin to lock the castle nut into place. Failing to install the cotter pin could be hazardous, so don't forget this step. We'll repeat this step for all 4 tires. We can now remove the go-kart from our elevated surface and install our rubber hubcaps. Now that our tires are installed, we'll install our steering wheel. You'll want to make sure the flat part of the steering wheel is installed on the bottom. Using the 3 nuts and bolts, we'll attach our steering wheel to the steering column. Once all 3 bolts are tightened, install the cap. This just clips into place. Test the wheel to confirm it is tightened into place and can freely turn. We'll move on to installing the seat. If you have not yet removed it from the plastic, do so now. To install the seat, attach the barb located on the bottom of the seat to the bracket on the go-kart before attaching the bolt. The hardware you will need will be included with the seat. Once the nut and bolt are installed, confirm your seat doesn't move around. Tighten up the bolt more if needed. Now that our seat is installed, we can install our seat belts. Thread the belts through the seat. There will be empty spaces in the seat back where you can feed the belts through. You will attach the seat belts to the frame using the bolt, washer, nut, and gasket that is provided on the belts. Make these tight. You don't want them getting loose. Next up is our brush guard. Again, the hardware you will need will be attached to the go-kart. We will first install the front to back brush guards. At this point, don't fully tighten these to the frame. But once those are connected, move on to attaching the side arms. Again, don't fully tighten these at this time. We'll now attach the back arm. And once this back arm is installed, we can go through and install the rear safety net and the rear storage rack. At this point, we'll want to go and tighten up all of our brush guard arms. Once those nuts and bolts are fully tightened, your go-kart assembly is complete. With the assembly complete, we will now add oil and gas to our go-kart. We're using Coleman 10W30 motor oil and unleaded gasoline. We will need 0.63 quarts of oil and 1.06 gallons of fuel. The oil fill plug is located at the rear of the engine near the seat and will be an orange plug with a dipstick attached. Using a long funnel, we will add our motor oil. We have added the fuel off screen, but the fuel tank can be found on the top of the engine. Once you have completed your pre-ride inspection, as can be found in both the owner's and assembly manual, you are ready to ride.